what's going down, everybody? This is IceFuze, along with Peter.
Hello!
And we're back, part 3 of our first episode of this sexy podcast sort of thing.
With our sexy voices.
Yeah, like my outro always says. Anyways, so, yeah, I want you to keep going. If you remember where you left off.
Yeah, I think I left off talking about the medium, like the range on the shooting on COD to Battlefield relationship. It's like COD is a lot more, it's normally a lot more fast-paced, but the cool thing about Battlefield is that it's just, it just has everything. Like, you have long range, you have medium range, you have close quarters. You like
to me, Call of Duty is one of those close quarter games, right?
Yeah.
It's more of an arcade shooter. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
Whereas Battlefield 3,
more of a simulator.
It's more of a war simulator. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
It's not like Arma.
Granted, TDM, Team Deathmatch, definitely is kind of like it's kind of like a Call of Duty kind of thing. But if you are to do, we'll say, Rush, that's definitely like a real life kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where they do need to get to a certain place at a certain time. In this certain amount of time, they need to blow up a couple places, and then they need to move on. That's kind of like a real life scenario. And what is it?
Like if you're taking an enemy base, they just need to destroy their communications so they don't send on backup, and so that you can actually take them down.
What's the domination game? I forget.
The domination game, it's like you have Conquest.
No, what Conquest? That's it. Conquest is obviously you don't really go around putting your flags up, but that's still kind of, you still have big maps, and it's definitely still one of those things where there's so many points that you need to be at one time that it's one of those things that's just, it's so lifelike, and it looks so lifelike, and it feels so lifelike, and everything, that it's just one of those games that you get blown away by as to the realism factor to it. But yeah, so
of course
I think
just keep on.
Well, I was just about to say that I think we should be good for that aspect of the discussion.
Yeah.
So
sure.
Go ahead if you're.
No, what I was going to talk about was that you actually talked about the points, and but first, before I talk about the point system, I actually wanted to talk to you and talk to the people about the Conquest. Like another good thing about Conquest is that you actually have Conquest Large, Conquest Normal, and Conquest Domination, which determines by the number of tickets and basically the aspect of the game. And another cool thing is that Battlefield is more complete into what you have. You have close quarters, you have medium range, and you have long range. You have all that put together on an awesome game, on an awesome package, and that just makes the game a lot more immersive and a lot more and better for me and overall. And another cool thing that actually they did was that they implemented the close quarters DLC, which gave that not COD feeling to the game, but it's actually a way of saying it. It just gave it that close quarter, that arcade shoot. That's exactly the word I was looking for. Thanks. That arcade shooting feel to it. And what it's cool is that you can still do long range. You just need to change your map or wherever. You actually even have Conquest Domination and Conquest and Large and stuff on the close quarters maps, which is amazing. It just makes it all around really interesting, and it just gives it a really different feel to the Battlefield game, as if with COD you just have the same feel when you play it every time.
Right. Alright, so I think that's going to be good for Battlefield 3 discussion. One thing that I do want to talk about is Medal of Honor. Medal of Honor...
and the connection to it with Battlefield 4?
Yeah, okay, so, let's see here. What's Battlefield 4, or not Battlefield 4, what's Medal of Honor going to be called?
Medal of Honor Warfighter.
There it is. Medal of Honor Warfighter is coming out in, is it later this year?
I think it is, but I can actually search it real quick.
So yeah, so it should, I think it's this year sometime.
Yeah. It's October 23.
Okay, cool. That's actually very close.
3rd.
But anyways, so I think that's also Battlefield 4 is obviously going to be released just after Endgame comes out, the DLC for Battlefield 3, along with the fact that later on this year, in October 23rd, you said?
Yep.
October 23rd, Medal of Honor Warfighter is going to be coming out as well. So now, last time a Medal of Honor game came out, it was basically a test for the engine of the next Battlefield game.
They used Medal of Honor 2010 just to actually test and improve their work on the Frostbite 1 engine, which they used on Battlefield Bad Company 2. And the thing about DICE is that they made for me, it was a really good game, while they were just playing with an engine that they wanted to improve. And what I think is that Warfighter is actually going to be a really good game too. And I've actually watched videos of people who actually played the beta of it, like Frankie on PC in 1080p. He's actually a YouTuber that I watch, and he actually talked about it, and he says that it's a pretty good game. It has a different feel than COD or Battlefield, but it's there in the middle, and it looks like it's a pretty good game, and it looks like it could be pretty good fun, and that it would be a pretty interesting game, and that it's cool that they are making actually good games while hyping the Battlefield 4 game, because that just helps the Battlefield community to grow, and it just shows that they are working strong on it, and they want to make it big, and that they are actually using other games, other actually really good games, that they just do it while toying with engines to actually improve our Battlefield experience in the future.
Alright, so let's see here. How I think they should keep Battlefield still on top and above Call of Duty, and how I think they should get people to convert from Call of Duty to Battlefield. What I think they should do is every other year put out a new Medal of Honor, and every other year put out a Battlefield game. The reason being is because let's say this year we have Medal of Honor. Okay, so you put ads in the game. You put we'll say maybe, I don't know,
beta
some kind of challenge,
like they did the beta key thing for Battlefield 4 for people who actually buy or pre-order Battlefield Medal of Honor Warfighter. The people who actually order it, or pre-order it, they get a Battlefield 4 beta key, and I think that's a good way to actually hype the Battlefield 4 game and to make people get interested on it.
Yeah, that's definitely a cool thing that they're doing. But what I think they should do is, so let's say Medal of Honor comes out, and shoot, what was I gonna say?
Medal of Honor comes out, and then they should hype Battlefield, and then hype Medal of Honor, like just keep launching them. Is that it?
Okay, so let's see here. So each and every year they put out a new game. Oh yeah, so let's say they want, what I think they should do is kind of go at it like a Activision route, right? So I think they should branch off into two different branches of DICE. One working on Medal of Honor, one working on Battlefield 3. Why they should do this is because of the fact that if there's a new DICE FPS out every year, that can compete with Call of Duty. It'll be a different series every other year, or every year it'll be a different series, which will keep you interested, and it'll give you kind of a preview for the next game, as well as you get Medal of Honor, which is going to be right in the middle of Call of Duty and Battlefield, and then you get Battlefield, which is going to be in it, like, competing with Call of Duty. It won't be competing with Medal of Honor, because Medal of Honor, I think, is always going to be below Call of Duty and Battlefield. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's how they should do it. I know you think differently. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I think that that's not a bad idea, as long as DICE doesn't stop with what they're doing right now, which is support the game fully and never slack off and keep being the great company that they are. But
because if you don't support your games, you won't have the trust of anybody anymore. Like, with Activision, nobody expects. Like, Treyarch and Infinity Ward and Activision, nobody expects support from them. DICE, you support it. You definitely have to support it because you expect it. But, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. I know, you didn't get really to talk much this part, but, you did get quite a bit of
Don't worry, man.
But,
that doesn't matter.
Anyways.
What it matters is that we actually gave our opinions and showed the guys and people on YouTube that we are actually interested in ideas and stuff. What?
Alright, anyways, nothing. People will catch that. Anyways, thanks guys for watching this. If you enjoyed this first episode, give all of the parts a like. And if you enjoyed my sexy voice or Peter's sexy voice,
or both,
go ahead and subscribe. Yeah. Go ahead and subscribe to both of us. And anyways, thank you guys very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, give it a like. If you enjoyed enough, give it a favorite.
Yeah, if you really enjoyed it, just click it and like that favorite button and that like button and share that thing. Share it. We all know that you have a Facebook or a Twitter or a Google Plus.
Sir.
Share it.
Did my outro.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
I'm kidding. Alright, if you enjoyed the video, or if you enjoyed the podcast, give it a like. If you enjoyed enough, give it a favorite. And if you enjoyed our sexy voices, go ahead and subscribe to the both of us. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later.
See you later.